Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thanks very much for watching our earwax removal compilation video today. We got a long old video, I think it's about 15 minutes long altogether for you. There's quite a few in here, so make sure you stay tuned to the end as well. Now, what you can see here is we've got this really soft, sticky type of earwax here at the entrance to the canal. Why is that? Because the patient's been using some olive oil in here, so it's actually softened basically the wax right at the entrance to the canal here, so the cerumen right at the entrance. Now, make sure you stay tuned for the plug on this one because it is a long plug, this one. So we managed to break away that front section, but look at this now as we start to remove this long plug. Let's give this a bit of a wiggle. Keep your eye on this, guys, because he is immense. This one, it was a really nice surprise, both me and the patient. But out this is coming. Look at that plug. That's actually 2 centimeters worth of earwax plug there, 3/4 of an inch. Eardrum looking lovely and healthy. That's actually a left eardrum because we can see because the malice is going up towards the left. But there you go. Look at the size of that plug. That is a chunky plug of wax, that one. Guys, I think the medical terminology is, it's gone down well. A lot of people like it. Some people are not so fussed. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and mix it up. I am going to use medical terminology with my colloquialisms as well, guys, because you seem to like the fun aspect of this as well. So we're going to try and mix it. We're going to try and do the best of both worlds. So what we can see with this one now, we've got this really dull matte color wax here. It means it's old, means it's dry. We've got this dry keratin layer around it as well. So that skin, that epithelial layers hardened up, become really tough, filled with keratin, which is what your hair and nails are made out of. So not really budging very well and hanging on to this plug. So we got the St. Bart's hook in here. It's come out for an appearance today. That 90-degree angle hook means it's easy to get out these bigger, harder plugs, which is exactly what this is. You could see I just managed to get a little bit of leverage at the front, but we've managed to pull it forwards. Now I can get beyond it with the St. Bart's hook, which is how this tool is designed to be used. We're going to roll this down the ear canal here. So just pulling this out. Now you will see that kind of thin keratin. You can just see a couple of wispy pieces just at the entrance to the canal. There'll be also some, as we lift this up, you'll see a lighter material going around the outside. There's that ring there. That's where that keratin ring was. That was holding this in. So imagine a ring around the outside part of the ear canal. Just as the skin cells migrate, we talk about this epithelial migration, moving from that deeper portion to the outermost portion of the ear canal, where they're drying along the way. They're filling with keratin as they're dying off. Now what should normally happen is it should flake away then here at this particular portion of the ear canal and then just fall away with the wax. Don't forget, cerumen, which is what wax is, the medical term for wax, is basically mixed up of oil, dirt, debris, dead skin, all those things mixed together. And the reason I think this is as tough as it is because it was a lot of dead old skin, lots of keratin filled skin in there. You can actually see as I got it off the thing, it broke into 2 pieces. So these are the 2 halves. So we've got 1.5 centimeter, 3/4 of an inch of wax. Don't go anywhere, guys. There are 3 more patients coming up in this video for you as well. Don't forget, if you do enjoy these videos, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and 2 more patients, sorry. Like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. That'd be fab. If you have ear problems yourself, you can always check out the link tree. Check out in the description. That will take you through to our website. Answer anything you want to know about us as well in there. And you can book yourself an appointment, see myself or the lovely Mr. Taylor Green. Now this gentleman came in first thing this morning. Basically, backstory to this lovely guy. He'd come in, had an ear infection, which was causing his ear canals to get super itchy. He's used some cotton bud in there and basically pushed the wax almost down on top of the eardrum. Now you can see this wax is dark, it's old, it's dry, it's right down in there. So we've got the standard size ulnar tube in here. I'm trying to pull this forwards, but it's just not having any of it. Basically what we're doing is folding that top section of the wax forwards so I can get the forceps on here. Now the difficulty when wax becomes old, it's drying, it's filling with more dry skin, it's hardening, it's becoming brittle. Don't forget, wax is slightly acidic. It's to stop you from getting infections and to keep those ears protected. So the longer that wax stays in the ear, the more it oxidizes, the darker it gets, the more brittle it becomes. But look, we've managed to cleave that top section off here. There we go. We're just going to go back in with a suction tube. Can we lift this? Can we bring it out from the recess just to lift it forwards and up and over towards the entrance to the canal? The answer to that question is at the moment, no, we can't. So we're just going to go in. This is a Formy tool. So basically what we're doing here, it's like imagine like a blunt Rosen inserter. That's the way to imagine it. But you can see I'm trying to get over the top. it's just dropping. It's settling that wax back down, which is no good for us. So we're going to use the standard size ulnar tube in here. Now I'm going to try and pick up some of that keratin material off the base of the canal. I'm hoping that's going to lift, as it's done there, that little bit of dry wax from just in front of the eardrum. Now we're going to bring this down the canal, away from that osseous portion, away from that more sensitive portion of the ear canal, to the outermost portion, the cartilaginous portion. Why is it cartilaginous? It's surrounded by cartilage. Feel your ear. It's bendy, it's floppy. That's exactly what we want it to be. It's a lot less sensitive in this particular portion of the ear canal. So we're going to get a good grip here with a standard size ulnar tube. I'm trying to bring this out, but don't forget ear canals have two natural bends, and when the wax has become really hardened up like this, it doesn't always negotiate that bend very well. Back in here, just dropping this out with the Formby tool. We're just going to see if we can push this into the wax. Now this is tough as old boots. This is really tough old stuff. It actually feels like a piece of wood. It's that hard. So we're going to lift this up so you can get a good look at it. There you go. Spoil you guys, look, see. And then we're going to go back in. We've got a few little dry, thin wax sections here just around that outside edge. We're just on the posterior canal wall here, posterior back of the head, posterior your bottom, also at the back. Fingers crossed. So you can see that's what we're talking about when we talk about posterior here. So we're just removing these pieces. You can see they've turned very, very thin. When they go thin like this, sometimes this can be a reaction to an antibiotic spray or an antibiotic drop that's gone into the ear canal. It can cause the wax to just change its consistency ever so slightly. But I think this is more to do with the fact the patient has been, because he did admit using cotton buds every day. So you're going to be stripping those natural oils away. It's just going to stop the wax from being able to absorb the oil, and it's going to become a lot harder. We've got this last little piece here. Just going to try and lift this. Got to go nice and gently. We don't want to cause any discomfort for the patient here. Make sure you stay tuned for the last patient in this compilation. Loads of keratin in the last patient of this compilation as well. So we're just getting this piece away. There you go. Peeled that off. Let's take a look at this eardrum. Looking nice and healthy there, no major issues. So this is what we removed. Now it doesn't look like a lot on there, but as we always say, your eardrum, look at the tip of your little finger. That's the size of the eardrum. So you've got a centimetre there, just under ½ an inch. That would have been completely covering that eardrum there, and a patient really struggling with their hearing when they came in, but hearing a lot better. Now, let's take a look in here. Now we can just see the grey, that grey blue in the distance. That's the tympanic membrane, so that's your eardrum. So the sound can get through this wax. So the patient has actually been experiencing a little bit of discomfort, especially with jaw movement. When they go in the bath or shower, it's been feeling really blocked, and you can see why here. I've got a good grip on this plug, and as I'm lifting, it's not budging. It doesn't want to come away from the canal wall. Now, why would that be the case? Why wouldn't it want to come away from the canal wall? Think about this keratin, think about this dead skin. The more of that there is, the more it's going to adhere to the canal wall. And that's what's happened here. We've got a mixture of this keratin layer at the very entrance to the canal that's going all the way around. And then we've got this cerumen plug, this block of wax is sitting further behind it. And in fact, the two are connected together. So I've managed to lift it slightly off the canal wall here, but I've opted to use the forceps now instead. So the forceps are just going to be able to get a better grip. They're going to be able to lift. We can hold on to them a little bit better to this keratin plug. There you go. So we're just pulling this away. There we go. Let's lift it again. Out this is starting to come. Guys, make sure you stay tuned this week. We've got some good videos this week. I've actually got an ear canal cholesteatoma, which is a very rare condition for you to see. I think we're going to be voicing that one, or more than likely that one's going to go out on Friday. So make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. And how do you know when our videos go out? Because you're going to hit the bell. You're going to subscribe and you're going to hit the bell button. And that way then you know whenever a new video comes out. If you don't mind doing that, it'd be great. We'd love to have new subscribers, and that would be fab. You can see this layer of keratin here coming away. When we start to get this initial section of the front, make sure you stay tuned. You're going to be able to see those wispy, thinner, almost spider-webby layers of keratin that are further back in there as well. So we're trying to get the best angle here to get this keratin plug. I think we've got a good grip there, a little bit of a wiggled circular movements, detaching this from the canal wall all the way around. Out this is coming. There we go. You can see how that thinner layer, and then you've got that almost ball of cerumen at the end, that hardened up wax. Look at those wispy keratin layers there across the top. So we're just going to take those away. This is the fine end on here. Why are we using the fine end? We don't want to run the risk of it clarinetting for the patient. We don't want that to be uncomfortable for the patient. But we talk about epithelial migration. We talk about the movement of the canal. Look at that layer going all the way down to the eardrum there. Epithelial migration does tend to slow as we get a little bit older. So, you know, if you're in your 40s, the speed at which that skin, that epithelium is going to migrate out is not going to be as good or as quick as somebody in their 20s. And we also produce less and less oil as we get a little bit older. I'm not saying 40 is old. I'm 46. So, you know, I'm not saying we're old, but it's just a fact of life. It does happen and it starts to dry out. And that's what we're seeing here. This canal wall is almost forming like this thin husk layer all the way around that canal wall. And you can really see it there. So don't forget, the newest formed skin forms bang in the center of the eardrum. The center of the eardrum is called your umbo. So as every skin layer comes out, it pushes those neighbors to the annulus, that thick fibrous ring around the outside of the tympanic membrane, around the outside of the eardrum. And then that then goes on to form the canal wall skin. And that's what we're seeing here. Look at these pieces coming away. Eardrum beyond looks lovely and healthy, really shiny. But look how all you can see how that would have anchored that plug into place there, but looking a lot better. There we go, even got a bit of a light reflex there as well. So that's the right eardrum. How do we know it's a right eardrum? You look at the long process, the handle of the malleus there, sorry, not lateral process, but the handle of the malleus. Which way is it pointing? It was pointing up diagonally to the right, to the front of the head, so that's your right hand side. So there we go. Very similar story on the left. So there we are, just still in this cartilaginous portion, this outermost portion of the ear canal here. We're not going really down into that deeper osseous portion of the ear canal. Why? Os means bone, it's surrounded by bone, it's surrounded by temporal bone. So that'll come into play a little bit more when you look at the ear canal cholesteatoma we're going to see at the end of this week. So make sure you stay tuned for that one as well, guys. So we just got the crocodile forceps on this one. I love the crocodile forceps. I love, you know, there are lots of different Henkels as well, which have a slightly wider jaw to them. I like crocodile forceps. I think you maintain a bit more visibility. Yes, they're a thinner jaw, so you can sometimes sort of pull through keratin and wax, but I quite like them just because you maintain that visual and because you can actually get underneath some of these bits and pieces with the bottom jaw of the forceps as well. It just makes it easier to lift. So we've got the fine end on here. You can see this layer of keratin here on the outermost portion of the ear canal. Look how this goes all the way around. So when we talk about these layers migrating out, I don't want you to think of it in one dimension or two dimensions. I don't want you to think of it as, you know, you have a layer that's flat at the bottom. Imagine a tube. That's what you're going to imagine. The whole thing is moving down as a tube. It's all the way around. So when you start to pull, you'll see here now, I'll pull from the one side, it actually starts to go up, you know, onto that more anterior portion where you're going around that sort of towards the front of the head here. It's going around that posterior portion. Look, as we lift it, it's going up those two sides. That whole ring of, or sleeve is a better description. Ring makes it sound very thin, but it's a whole sleeve of dried out epithelial filled with keratin, filled with this harder material here. But this is coming away fantastically well. You can see we've just sheared through it a little bit there. So what would you do at this point? You can lift, you can see if you can get the peel, but unfortunately this is where it becomes the crocodile forceps nemesis. It just pulled through, it didn't lift the whole section away. Now, if you pop a bit of olive oil in here, what's going to do, it's going to have a massive impact on this, and you'll see how this changes with the introduction of a bit of olive oil. Now look here how this is coming away. Now I haven't done anything else apart from put the olive oil in, but look how this sleeve of keratin, this wide section, look how this comes away here. There we go, a good peel. Look at how that is peeling away. It's actually taking that bottom section that we were struggling to get a grip on there with the forceps. It's taken that whole section away. Look at that, so much better. Now, patient did say, look, I'm feeling a little bit blocked up still, and that's because there is this pool of olive oil in here. So you can do one of two things. You can either suction it away as we're doing here, just with a fine end, or you could get the bit of tissue on the patient's ear, get them to tilt over, and that oil would flow out to the ear canal there, so they wouldn't feel quite as blocked up. But we've got the suction tube on anyway, might as well clear that out. But look at what we removed, 3.5. So I'm going to go with 3.5 on that one. Might just be just shy. And just over 1.25 inches there as well of keratin and wax, predominantly keratin, that one though, guys. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I did try and mix up our kind of colloquialisms with the medical terminology. I hope that's a good mix for you guys. Appeases both camps. That's what I feel on that one. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't forget to like, heart, share, follow, subscribe for me. That would be fantastic. I will see you for the next video. So as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.